beginning, the bhakti begins with a need, need where you want something. There is some desire, but then as people grow, the intention, the motivation behind bhakti evolves, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became completely selfless, a pure love, from the kama, that is a desire of the sense objects. The bhakti evolves into prema bhava, So we are looking into that. I request MSc student who want to answer this question to unmute and share the views.
Sir, what I feel like as the question is how we are applying it in our practical life. So what I feel is we should be always surrender to someone who is higher than us. So it brings an aspect of I-ness. We will dissolve our I-ness, or else we'll be like whatever we are doing, we feel like we are responsible like that. When we are surrendering to someone who is higher than us, that I-ness is dissolved, and it also makes us stress free sometimes. And another thing is like, for example, we are all knowingly or unknowingly surrendered. If we are not surrendered, we'll be in a stressful way of life. For example, I can say if you are traveling in a bus, so knowingly or unknowingly, we are all surrendered to the bus driver. We don't know how he takes. However, he takes us to destination, we have to accept it, right? So we should surrender to the supreme power.
Very beautifully answered, Gautam. So Gautam says that in practical life, it is the aspect of surrender, deep trust that you put into the higher power. Because if you feel that I am the doer of everything, then you are under a lot of stress. And I have observed that, the more the sense of doership we have, the more we get anxious, and we also miserably fail, if we do not have any higher connect. Beautifully answered, Gautam. Sandhya ji.
Namaskar, sir.
Yes.
Actually, as earlier discussion went on, yes, very true. Our society is idol-based worship. It starts from looking at different God in different forms. This is basically to get connected with God. As we were child, we were knowing which God looks what. So that's how concentration on God goes with. And once we start looking at, for example, Hanuman, we'll start look at him in that picture and start praying for him. Our concentration goes. And also, as young, we were taught you have to do namaskar to God in the morning, the evening. So to bring in discipline, we have initially used nature and God as our aim, point of focus. So it is taught by elders. So how it goes, like if you do bhakti and if you have worship God, you will be in the society, you'll be a good human being. You give respect to elders and needy people and child and everybody. So that's how our being a good in the society, it forms. So as we know, the bhakti can take it to greater heights with every day, with our disciplined life. We can do like as it is being put in Bhagavad Gita, we can take it further with higher level of achieving moksha or considering all karma.
Sandhya ji has brought in the view that bhakti is something that enhances compassion and a lot of values that come in life, and it forms the basis for higher evolution. Okay, there are many people who have raised hands. I request people to keep their answer brief and to the point. So, Abhay ji, then Kanchan, then Uma ji, and then VN. Okay, Abhay ji.
2 मिनिटात सांगतो सर. महाराष्ट्रात वारकरी संप्रदाय देहू, आळंदी आणि महाराष्ट्रातून सगळे ह्या आता आषाढी कार्तिकी वारी करतात सर. पंढरपूरला जातात. आणि पंढरपूरला जाताना टाळ्या वाजवत जाता सर, आणि टाळ्या वाजवताना टाळ्याचं जे स्पंदन आहे ते हार्टशी रिलेटेड आहे. तर आतापर्यंत ज्ञानेश्वर महाराजापासून तुकाराम महाराजापासून एवढ्या वाऱ्या झाल्यात, पण एकही माणूस असा हार्ट अटॅकने मेला आहे वारी करताना असं कधीही झालं नाही. तर त्याचं कारण टाळ्या वाजवताना त्याचं रिलेशन हार्टशी होतं सर, हार्टचे स्पंदन आहेत. आणि त्याच्यावर संशोधन झालेलं आहे. इथं कार्डिओलॉजिस्ट पुण्यात भरपूर आहेत, त्यांनी संशोधन केलं आणि ते प्रबंध दाखल झाले सर. तर त्याचं कारण एकच आहे की फक्त लहान वयातले मुलं 70-80 वर्षाचे सुद्धा वयस्कर लोक पंढरपूरला जातात, शेकडो मैल पायी पायी चालत जातात. तर त्याचं कारण एकच आहे की भक्ती आणि योगा हे दोन्हीचे रिलेशन तिथं होतं, त्याच्यामुळे तिथं देवही प्राप्त होतो आणि शरीरही चांगलं राहतं. कुणी सुद्धा थकत नाही एवढं वारी करून. सर, थँक्यू.
खूप सुंदर, खूप सुंदर. So Abhayji has said that there is a Varkari, sampradaya in Maharashtra. They travel by foot to Pandharpur from their own villages, and they keep clapping, and when they clap, he says that the clapping has a relationship with the Anahata chakra in the heart, and bhakti is something which is associated with this chakra. And people have found that even the elderly people, they walk so much, but they never have any kind of heart disease. In fact, it is healthy for them. So he says that here bhakti and yoga both are combined. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Okay, so Kanchan, you raised your hand.
Yes, sir. So how the bhakti we go towards the bhakti path is like 5 stages of grief. So first denial is there that whether God is there or not. Then anger used to come that I want that thing. So then someone is suffering from the anger that God give me that thing. Then we will bargain that please give me. I want that thing. Desperately I want that thing. Then the depression used to come that we are completely we are completely depressed to a particular thing or someone, a person. Then after that acceptance comes. Ki, okay, fine, my life is like that only. I have to accept it. And after that, what Gautam said, that surrender used to come. Ki, finally, okay, I'm surrendering to you. That's how we apply bhakti yoga in our day-to-day life. The surrenderance, the acceptance is there, and after the surrenderance, we applied in everything, while eating food, while going somewhere, or remembering the God again and again, or like we love someone, so we used to remember that whether if that person would be here or like that. So like this, I think so bhakti yoga we used to apply in our day-to-day life. But I personally observed and felt.
Very beautiful answer. Very beautiful answer, Kanchan. Kanchan, brought in the very important aspect of culturing of the emotions. So the anger, the desires that are there, cravings that are there, they slowly are channelized into surrender and acceptance. And she also brought in the aspect of smarana, remembrance, which is a very important component of bhakti yoga. Umaji, then Kambam Raghunathji, and then Shobhanaji. Yes.
So I am almost to the points of Gautamji and Kanchanji, sir. My perspective is like accepting all the responsibilities given by God, whatever it is, like a family, job, wealth, health, status, or anything, or resources, whatever, being dedicated and protective and very sincere is the path for the Bhakti Yoga. I feel that, sir.
Yes, yes. So dedicating and taking the duty that has been given to you as a service to God.
Responsibility to be taken.
Wonderful. Shobhanaji.
Sir, Raghunath here.
Raghunathji, then Shobhanaji. Yes.
Sir, today now I go to ISKCON. There I have my program over there, and I have bhajan over there, and I repeat Hare Krishna over there in a group. And when you go in a group, and my attitude, my contribution is something different when I do it myself. So I feel that my bhakti yoga increases when I just have share it with others,
yes,
and have the practice of chanting the Hare Krishna in a group. That's where I find bhakti yoga is one of the ways of attempting to the point of your question.
Superb, Raghunathji. In fact, this is very, very critical point in bhakti, the sangha. Bhakti is something which can very quickly be destroyed by kusanga, and it can multiply exponentially by satsanga. So nowhere else, the sangha plays that important role as much as it plays in bhakti. In fact, one of the ways of achieving bhakti is to serve a bhakta selflessly. It only comes by grace. Very beautiful aspect. Shobhana ji.
Good morning, sir. I feel Bhakti Yoga is basically doing your duties with complete surrender to God with devotion in terms of satsang, japa, prayer, and feeling the grace of God and strength to face any situations in life. Sometimes there may be adverse situations which we are not capable, but we feel the guidance and strength. We get the strength from God. So that is when you surrender completely to Him, we get that strength to face any situation in life. And adverse situations, suddenly we are capable of doing something with His grace. So that is what I felt Bhakti Yoga.
Yes, Shobhana ji. So Shobhana ji and many other people here, have come to this understanding that surrendering to the God and doing your responsibilities for God, is the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Now let us see what is written in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita provides very beautiful insights onto this path of yoga. So as Gandhi sir was saying, there are people who go to God with different intentions. So in 7th chapter, the flavor of bhakti starts coming up after the Dhyan Yoga. Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukritino arjuna arto jidnyasu artharthi jnani cha bharatarshava. 4 kind of, all those people are sukruta. All of them I consider as pious people. Those who come to me, one is artha, one who is in distress, who is suffering from a disease or is into a big trouble, wants to come out of it. Jidnyasu, they are curious about the source of creation, how this creation was made. Then there are people who want to bargain, who want to do bhakti, take name, and in response to that, they want their worldly desires to be fulfilled. And those who are situated in knowledge, jnani, are those who want to really understand the very heart, the very essence of God. So they want to become one with the essence of the Creator. So these are the 4 people who Krishna says all of them are Sukruta, because they have firm faith that God is going to give them what they want, or God is going to solve their problem. But among them, Krishna says, Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta. I consider that person who is established in knowledge and who is Nitya Yukta Ek Bhaktir Vishishyate. Priyo hi jnani no atyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. For that jnani, I am very dear, and he is also very dear to me. Here 2 aspects come, which form very important pillars in the path of bhakti. One is Nitya Yukta. So a continuity in remembrance of God. These jnanis use cues such as mantras, such as kirtanas, that reminds them of that connect. Nitya Yukta means connecting all the time to that higher principle, the God. And Ek Bhakti. Ek Bhakti, is a concept which I wanted to discuss. Now, many people who come to me, they say that we are devoted to God, but we are devoted to many gods. I have bhakti towards all the gods. I have bhakti towards Devi also. I have bhakti towards Krishna also, Rama also, Shiva also, Hanuman also. And if I pay more attention to one god, I feel that the another deity, another god will be upset or will not like it. And that is why people spend a lot of time in worshipping all the gods, or they have different days to worship each god. And people, belonging to other religion, or they worship Jesus also, or Allah also. So here, one important point to understand that as you grow on the path of bhakti, you have to move towards Eka Bhakti. So you have to understand that all these are manifestation of the same divine. Same water vapor condenses into water, and then water becomes into ice of different shape. In the same way, different deities represent the quality of the same. And therefore, whichever, you internally deeply connect, you have to move towards one Nam Japa, one mantra, and one Ishta Devata, and start growing in that direction. So, Ek Bhakti Vishishyate. And initially, we are impressed by the wealth of the God, by the grandeur of that divinity, the creation of the divine. But slowly, as the person evolves in bhakti, from his creations, we become more interested in the creator. So, till the creations impress us, God keeps us giving his creations only. Once, a child cries for the mother keeps on giving him one or the other toys. But after the child is fed up with all the toys and throws them away, then the mother comes and picks up the child. So in the same way, in the path of bhakti, whatever you desire initially starts coming up, but in real bhakti, one moves towards the very heart of the creator. So Krishna, Arjuna asked this very beautiful question to Krishna in the first sloka of the 12th chapter. The 12th chapter itself is called as Bhakti Yoga. Krishna says, between those who are steadfastly devoted to your personal form and those who worship the formless Brahma, whom do you consider to be more perfect? Yecham aksharam avyaktam or bhaktas tvam paryupas. So, in these two kind of worshippers, whom do you consider as perfect? Yoga vittamaha. So, before I show answer what Krishna says, I would request people, what is their opinion? What do they think? Which one? How would Krishna answer? Anybody?
Yes, sir. It's without the form, it's very difficult to pray or smarana. With the form, it is a little easier. That's what Krishna says, sir.
Okay, Suryaji.
Good morning, sir. So, sir, I think God is omnipresent. He's present everywhere. We don't need an idol or a form. Because if you think of God in your heart and in your mind, or, he will be there with you. So these are all man-made idols to connect easily, but I personally feel God is present everywhere. Even if you close your eyes, even if there is no statue of any god or goddess, and you say a mantra or a japa, like you said, of one particular god or goddess or saint that you believe in, it will connect you to the higher power, is what I feel.
Yes. So we see these contrasting views, that have come from Gandhi sir and Suryaji. So let us see, what Krishna says. Before we go into that, it is important to understand that there are three forms of God manifestation. One, as we all understand, Brahman, which is all pervading. You can understand this as water vapor, like gas, like everywhere, like space. Then the second form is a little more solidified form, which is Paramatman. We say that it is this form, Paramatma, which is dwelling in the heart of all the beings. This you can understand as water. And the third is Bhagwan. That is what we say as the personal form. Form like in the shape of a human being, Chaturbhuj form of Krishna that, he showed to Arjuna, and then the Vishwarupa also had a form. So here we see that God has a particular texture, color. He has certain kind of eyes, certain kind of feet, certain kind of dress. And this is the personalized form. Now, among these three forms, there are worshippers of different forms. Now, depending on one's own journey in evolution in bhakti, the requirement may be different. If somebody wants to drink water, giving him ice will not suffice. No, he needs water only at that phase. Similarly, if somebody wants to breathe air, he will need only in the air form. Whereas if somebody wants a solidified ice, a particular form, he will not be satisfied by the other two forms. So the devotees of God worship all the three forms. Krishna here answers that Maya Veshya Manoye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Paryopetaha Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Those who fix their mind on me as my personal form and always engage in my devotion with steadfast faith, I consider them to be the best yogis. So Krishna says that the third one, worshipper of Bhagwan in the form, in the personal form, they are the best. He also then in the next sloka, says that doesn't mean that people who are worshipping absolute Brahma or the imperishable, indefinable, unmanifest, all-pervading, unthinkable Brahma, they also, by restraining their senses and being even-minded everywhere, they also, if they are engaged in welfare of all the beings, also attain me. So he says they also can attain him, but he says that people worshipping the form are the best. Why does Krishna say that? Why does Krishna say that? So he says, Klesho adhik tarah tesham avyakta asakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham deha vadbhir vapyate. Those whose minds are attached to the unmanifest are Brahman or Paramatman. The path of realization is full of tribulations, difficulties. It is very easy that they will forget it, that they will get lost in the worldly, forces. And worship of the unmanifest is exceedingly difficult for people who are embodied beings, who have this body and who are in this mrityu loka. Here, to maintain a continuous connect with an unmanifest is very, very difficult, and the path of bhakti in this way, though intellectually it appears very satisfying, the path is very difficult. Why? Why is that difficult? See, when I have a form, when I have an idol of Krishna, whatever I eat, before I eat, I offer it to the idol. Now here what is happening is, my eyes are engaged in seeing the form of the God. My ears are engaged in singing or listening to the name of the God. My tongue is engaged in singing the name and the glory of the God. My emotions are channelized and I am talking to the personal God. And my intellect also is completely surrendered to the divine feet of the God. So in this way, that form is able to attract all my senses, my mind, and my intellect, everything. See, the way human beings are formed, in our relationships also, we get very easily attached to a person who is closer to us. Once the person, we lose the contact, if the person is far off, then slowly, our emotion, our bhavas towards that being withers away. Whereas if the person remains closer to us, then we miss that person more. In the same way, Krishna says that if you keep my personal form close to you and connect with me in my personal form again and again, then your bonding with me, the bonding with the source of creation becomes stronger. Whereas if you have a distance relationship with me, then the bonding is not that close. So this is the answer that Krishna gives here. And consider people who are devoted to the form as more evolved than the people who are not. So we generally have this tendency that people who are villagers, they are lay people, they are illiterate, they carry those form wherever they go, and these people are in a way little mad, but probably, if you listen to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna considers them as more evolved than us who are intellectuals. So Krishna says that these people who worship the Brahma, by continuous practicing those ways of equal mindedness, doing all the activity for the welfare of all the beings, sama in dukkha sukha, by doing all those intellectual cognitive practices, they reach Brahma Bhuta Sthiti or Brahma Nirvana. And then, they always remain happy. They never become sad, never desire anything. With equal minded, they remain. Then, in that state, I grace them with this pure bhakti or prema bhakti. So ultimately, even after reaching the Brahman, the next phase of evolution is into bhakti. like Gandhi sir was saying, that there had been the instances where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the big Vedantins had a debate, and invariably in all the situations, whoever interacted with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, those Vedantis, those knowers of the ultimate formless Brahma, were humbled and surrendered to the feet, and then got into the rasa of bhakti. See, bhakti is a path of rasa. Rasa means very subtle, beautiful emotion of surrender, love, gratitude. Whereas jnana is the path. The jnana is the path where it is more dry, So therefore, Krishna says that even jnanis later on evolve into bhakti. And there are certain key points, Krishna says that, as everybody was saying, that you should surrender all your activities to me. Ananyeneva yogena. Ananyeva. This word again and again comes whenever bhakti comes. What does exclusive devotion mean? Person does not, take shelter in anything else. He says that I belong to God only. The only relationship I have is this, and all other relationships are actually a varied manifestation of this one relationship, where the divine is uniting with me, and he slowly starts moving towards the form, and the form only becomes his friend, his father, his mother, his husband, his wife, everything. I belong to you only. That only thing is something that intensifies the bhakti. And Krishna says that once somebody surrenders to me like that, then I take things into my own hand. Before that, I don't do it. I remember the instance that is described in Mahabharata, where Draupadi was very angry with Krishna after the Chir Harana episode. When they were in that Vanvasa in forest, Krishna came there. Draupadi was not talking to Krishna. Then Krishna asks her, why are you upset? You are not talking to me. You are also a Sakhi. So Draupadi says that I am upset with you because though you only came to save me by taking the Vastra avatar during my Chir Harana, why did you not come before? When my hair were pulled by Dushyasana, when I was disrespected in front of everybody, when I was almost half naked, why did you tolerate, my humiliation like that? A friend in need is the friend indeed. So you could have come much earlier. Then very beautifully, smilingly Krishna answers. Krishna says that I was waiting there all the time, but the creation has been made in such a way that I have given freedom to all the bhutas, and I never interfere with their freedom. So I can only come when you call me. See, Duryodhana, Duryodhana called his Mamaji, Shakuni, and he told him to throw the dais. He requested him to throw the dais. But Yudhishthir did not even inform me when he was going to Hastinapur. He could have also called his, cousin brother and asked him to throw the dais. I would have been there. So I was not informed. I was not called. And you, Draupadi, initially you approached Bhima, Arjuna, your 5 husbands. Then you look towards Bhishma. Then you look towards Dronacharya. You look towards Dhritarashtra. You look towards everybody in the Sabha. And after that, you started using your own power. You started holding the sari with both your hands. Then you started holding it with your teeth. Then when you found that nothing, nothing is going to help you and your strength is not sufficient, then, Draupadi started praying to Krishna. Initially, she prayed with one hand, and as soon as she left the other hand, Krishna was there. So it is not the, sometimes people want to do it themselves. They say, I will never accept defeat. These are the people high in determination. So God cannot interfere. God comes only when you leave it to God. So that is the beauty here, that Krishna says that here surrender is required. Then only I take matter in my hand And then tesham aham samuddharta mrityu sansara sagara. From the troubles of this life, very easily they go through. So ananyaschintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate. Those who follow this exclusive devotion to me and are always absorbed in me. They use some cues of nama, kirtana all the time. Then what do? Yoga kshema vahamyaham. I take care of what they need in life and protect what they have. So I take matters in my hand. And then Krishna tells him that, oh Arjuna, if it is difficult for you to do this service devoted to me all the time, then before that he says that once he shows his Vishwarupa, Krishna says that in this form, Sudur Darshamidam Rupam Deva Apyasya Kankshitaha. This is the Rupa that I am showing. The Devas also desire for this, but this, in this Vishwarupa, I am not available to anybody else except for a Bhakta. By Ananya Bhakti, you can not only see me in this Vishwarupa, Nyatum, you can know me, Drashtum, see me, cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. You can even enter into my core, into my being by bhakti. So Krishna, the access that Krishna gives into himself to a bhakta, that access he doesn't give it to a jnani, to a karma yogi, or to a raj yogi also. So this is, really intense. And therefore he says that whatever you do, do it for me without any attachment and without any malice or towards any being such devotee. Now Krishna starts describing what are the ways in which this bhakti can be done. So as Umaji was also saying that we should offer whatever that we are eating, whatever small things that we have, to the form. You can offer only to the form. To the formless, how will you offer? If you feel God is only in your heart, you will only keep eating. But the offering, that surrender will not come unless you have a form. And Krishna says that I delightfully bhakti upahat ashnami prayatatmanaha. So I come and given with such love, I actually take it and eat whatever that is offered to me. In Mahabharata, Duryodhana invited Krishna to his home for food. Krishna did not go. He went to Vidur, and Vidurani, who was a great devotee of Krishna, offered him a banana. So Krishna not only ate banana, he also ate off the leaf of the banana. So he doesn't have any, thing. Whatever is offered with love, Krishna eats it. So Krishna says that I want two things. I want your manas, your emotion. All your emotion should be devoted to me. There should not be anybody more dearer to you than me. And I want your intellect. You have faith in me, dhrud bhakti. If you do that, then there is no doubt that you will live in me only. So Krishna says, if that kind of a steadfast devotion, doing all the activities for me is difficult for you, then you follow the path of abhyasa. In bhakti, how do you do abhyasa? You do shravana. You listen to the whatever God has said, the name of the God, the kirtana of God, the glories of the God. And what you do? You think about him all the time. You think if at my place Krishna would be there, what he would do, how he would think. If I do like this, how would Krishna feel? And then smaranam. So shravanam, mananam, and smaranam. Smaranam is the key in bhakti. How frequently can you remember and connect to that divine? Otherwise, there is nothing else. There is no karma, there is no dharma, there is no dhyana, but there is only remembrance, connection, and growth in prema. Now, this prema is a very, very rare thing to obtain in this life. For these premis, these rasikas, the gopis in Vrindavan, they say that moksha also is something that they do not want, because they are filled with that rasa where they want only the Krishna and Radha Ras Leela, that Krida should go on in front of them. So This is a very unique, very highly evolved state of prema that comes only to a chitta which is completely purified. Even after reaching the Brahma Sthiti, people do not have access to it. So therefore, Krishna says, who are the bhaktas who are very dear to Krishna? He says that people should not have hatred towards anybody. They should be equal to their enemies, to their friends. They should be santushta in all the situation. The gopis were in that kind of a situation where they were happy in the happiness of God. Tat sukhe sukham. If I am in trouble and if God is happy in keeping me in trouble, then I am ready to remain in trouble like this. So this is the way that gopis have grown in bhakti. And there are several qualities that Krishna describes, but the essence is that whatever that comes in my life, I consider that it has come because God wants it. I have no wish or desire of my own. ये लोग कठपुतली के जैसे बन जाते हैं. मतलब it means in the initial state of bhakti, people pray and want God to behave the way they want. In the later part of bhakti, people become the puppet in the hand of God. They say, okay, God, you now decide what you want to do with me.